Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this youth poetry night with Iyama. If you guys aren't already aware, this month is actually National Poetry Month, and I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate it than bringing you some wonderful poetry with these amazingly talented poets and educator, Ms. Linda Ekman here with us today. All right, so let's jump right into it with some fun poetry with Miss Linda Ekman.
Great. All right. Thank you. So I'm happy to be here and to be reading poems from Shel Silverstein. Most of them are from his book called Where the Sidewalk Ends. And there's some from also A Light in the Attic and from Up. So the first one, Where the Sidewalk Ends. Where does it end? Where the sidewalk ends. There is a place where the sidewalk ends and before the street begins, and there the grass grows soft and white, and there the sun burns crimson bright, and there the moonbird rests in his flight to cool in the peppermint wind. Let us leave this place where the smoke blows black and the dark street winds and bends. Past the pits where the asphalt flowers grow, we shall walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and watch where the chalk white arrows go to the place where the sidewalk ends. Yes, we'll walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and we'll walk where the chalk white arrows go to the place where the sidewalk ends. For the children, they mark, and the children, they know the place where the sidewalk ends. Shel Silverstein has a lot of imagination, and where the sidewalk ends could be like where our little guy here, Hector the Collector, begins. Because maybe he's walking down the street and he finds a few odds and ends. Hector the Collector. Hector the Collector collected bits of string, collected dolls with broken heads and rusty bells that wouldn't ring. Pieces out of picture puzzles, bent up nails and ice cream sticks, twists of wires, worn out tires, paper bags and broken bricks, old chipped vases, half shoelaces, Gatling guns that wouldn't shoot, leaky boats that wouldn't float, and stopped up horns that wouldn't toot, butter knives that had no handles, copper keys that fit no locks, rings that were too small for fingers, dried up leaves and patched up socks, worn out belts that had no buckles, electric trains that had no tracks, airplane models, broken bottles, three-legged chairs and cups with cracks. Hector the Collector loved these things with all his soul, loved them more than shining diamonds, loved them more than glistening gold. Hector called to all the people, "Come and share my treasure trunk." And all the silly, sightless people came and looked and called it junk. Now that is disappointing. But that's maybe not as disappointing as when you are, even though it's a different kind of school year that we're having this year, the homework still is a constant. Shel Silverstein thought about homework, and he thought, well, maybe a homework machine would be helpful. Homework machine. Oh, the homework machine, most perfect contraption that's ever been seen. Just put in your homework, then drop in a dime. Snap on the switch, and in 10 seconds time, your homework comes out quick and clean as can be. Here it is, 9 plus 4, and the answer is 3. 3? Oh me, I guess it's not as perfect as I thought it would be. It's good to depend on yourself and all the things that you can learn, and then you know when you're wrong. Very important. But now we have computers and they help with homework, right? Writer, waiting. Oh, this shiny computer. There just isn't nothing cuter. It knows everything the world ever knew. And with this great computer, I don't need no writing tutor, because there ain't a single thing that it can't do. It can sort, it can spell, it can punctuate as well. I can find and file and underline and type. It can edit and select. It can copy and correct. So I'll have a whole book written by tonight. Just as soon as I can think of what to write. We saw and could acknowledge our other poet, Greer, definitely understood that one. I loved her, how she felt. So Shel Silverstein surprises us all the time. Here he is, turning the world upside down, falling up. I tripped on my shoelace and I fell up to the rooftops, over the town, up past the treetops, up over the mountains, up where the colors blend into sounds. But it got me so dizzy when I looked around, I got sick to my stomach and I threw down. Shel Silverstein, I try to take his advice as much as I can. Whenever there's a little moment, here's his advice for all of us. Put something in. Draw a crazy picture, write a nutty poem, sing a mumble gumble song, whistle through your comb, do a loony goony dance, cross the kitchen floor, put something silly in the world that ain't been there before. It's good advice. Thank you for the opportunity to share it.
All right. Thank you so much, Linda. Gosh, I just really, again, I want to mention, your work as an educator. You have been in that field for long time now and have done such incredible work there. So I really admire that and thank you for that. Thank you for that uplifting reading by Shel Silverstein. It was very funny, bright spot to our day. Thank you. All right, guys, our next and final poet of the evening. She is such a great voice in her community, specifically for youth. Definitely one that you should follow and keep your eye on. She has a new publication out that maybe she can mention. And I'm so excited to get to learn more about her as well. So please help me welcome Oakland Youth Poet Laureate Greer Gathegawa Lee. Hi, Greer. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me here, Katrina. And thank you for sharing those poems, Linda. I always loved Shel Silverstein when I was younger. I have Where the Sidewalk Ends at my house, actually. Yeah, so I have around 4 poems that I want to share with you guys today. I wrote most of them when I was in middle school. Well, I wrote all of them when I was in middle school, so maybe not much older than some of the people in our audience today, which I think is really exciting. Yeah, so my first poem is called To the Water. This creek is a heart full of hallways. The damp, the droplets, the sea spray, and me. To the water, I want you to know me. The lake that holds the moon in liquid arms. Years of all that feeling that is not, or is only touch. I do not envy that. To the water, where did you learn to move like that? Did the years give you all their silver shine? All that desperate movement. To the water, I want you to know me. Like bare ankles and toes, I dangle over your surface and my heart beats with your thundering waves, beats like caution, beats like all the fearless, invincible people that I will never know, but still. To this day, I am still dangling over the surface. I am a stay-at-home explorer, a heart full of hallways, a well-constructed, inconvenient maze. My next poem is called Some Kind of Bravery. These are from my book, which is called A Heart Full of Hallways, which is from a line in the poem I just read. There are remnants of a song caught in my voice demanding I sing louder, calling me cowardly with my own voice. I thought I was free of these things, but I still hear them. These days, I soundlessly move my lips along with the song. I dance alone in my room with headphones on, the cord bumping the wall and the door, me worrying about the sound it's making, that and my loud footsteps, worrying about who is listening. I have friends who tell me they have never once dreamed of being on stage, free of fantasies where they win an argument, make a confession in a song, not wanting someone to hear them sing, even if they were assured the applause. But when they sing loud. In groups, they carry the tune with ease, my quiet voice fading into the background, not good enough for the stage. What good is a dream that keeps you from accomplishing it? We sit listening, mouthing the words, waiting to be good enough to sing, waiting to be good enough to start getting good, waiting forever. This is my third poem. It's called Call Me a Woman. Watch and wait for the women. You, male or female or anyone else, watch for an army of girls marching over the earth like a sea. Here, 2 by 2, our forms crest like a wave. Here we hit the shore angry. Here our shouts are strewn across the sidewalk. Here we are all furiously woman again, unapologetically without the permission to be this loud or take up this much space. Watch for our expanding movement, arms linked, feet planted to the ground as if to say, we were grown here. Took root in whatever hostile soil we were planted in, and haven't we fought enough just to grow up the same? Call me a woman, call me a tree. Either way, I fight to take up my space. Either way, it is a small miracle I am still alive when men have invented terrible uses for my body. Call her a woman, call her a river. Either way, it has taken her years to carve out her own place on any map. Either way, she will give and give and give to a world that will not treat her the way she deserves. But us women, we are not trees or plants or rivers. We are people, people with voices, people with dreams and hands that can build or break something. Us women, we are exactly what we need to be. This is my last poem. It's called Pen Pals with the Universe. I want to hold the stars in my hands. I want to let planets pool in the creases of my palms. I want to write love letters to supernovas and have them write me back. Dear Greer, the ocean looks amazing from up here. Wouldn't that be incredible? To be pen pals with the universe? Every piece of the motion, every piece of the world is in motion and just looking for love. And you have love right in your hands. You have caring caught under your fingernails. You have empathy pressed into your knuckles. Every piece of the universe is wide open and waiting for your letter. So what do you have to say? Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Greer. So definitely go out and find Greer's book and so much more of her amazing work. I want to open up the floor a little bit. So let's, if I could, so we have our poets here. Now, ladies, I wanted to end the night with a very important discussion for really everyone, and particularly our youth that are watching. You know, arts education is so important, maybe not given the presence that it should today, which is really unfortunate. What would be your advice to young people who are either one, looking for that outlet, or reflecting on yourself, and how they can get themselves known. Say they want to be a writer or a poet themselves. What would your advice be to them?
Well, sorry, could I?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Absolutely.
To me, the first step is finding out what's important to you. And to do that, you need to find a space where you're not judging yourself as you create. So I write every day, so it's very important to me to not put pressure on myself to make everything good. So I like to do things privately first and have it in my journal until I want to share it, but making that space where I don't judge myself as I create and I'm not constantly editing every word as it comes out of my mouth. That's really important to me, is so that I can find out what's important to say in my work.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, Linda, with your kids, the kids that you've taught, what would your advice would be? How have you helped them, in this regard creatively?
Well, I'm totally with Greer. That's exactly what it is. It's like you discover for yourself what's important for you at that moment. And if you're feeling something, it can come out, whether you're writing, whether you're playing games, whether you're doing artwork. It doesn't always have to be something about something. It can just be letting whatever is at that moment. We're talking about poetry, and one of the things about haiku that I really like is that it is about capture that moment. Capture that moment. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you sensing? That is a way to start with expression that is authentic. And authenticity is really what you're going for. We are unique human beings. How does that come out? Unfortunately, I can't tell really. I think children have always judged each other kind of harshly, and try to make clusters of groups that have kind of a little group think, a little band think, little cliques, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is if you can just differentiate between, okay, that's clique thinking, but here's my thinking. Here's how I feel for real. You may not have the strength or the confidence, the bravery to do that at a moment when you're around kind of cliques and peer pressure and everything, but stay in touch with what's real within yourself. Mm-hmm. And if you are in the arts, that'll help you, whether you do drama, whether you do singing, whether you do poetry, writing, painting, whatever you do in life, actually. But you've got to be very clear about really how you feel things yourself, not necessarily all the external. It's there. You might pass for a normie, but none of us are really norm. It's not a real thing, that normie thing. So that's what I have to say about that.
I agree more. Thank you. Thank you so much. Stay. I think what I take away is, there's resources there. Stay dedicated. Put in that time. Stay true to yourself.
Well, you definitely discover that through the arts. Mm-hmm. And for sure, when I was in school, I think we may have had a little bit more money, I guess. I don't know. But from the very beginning, although I wasn't strong with the writing or with the math, with those 3R things, I was strong with the drawing. So I was the kid they asked to come and draw. The teachers asked me, the kids asked me. And then when it came time for theater and for singing it, it was really good. And I had a lot going on in my life. If it wouldn't have been for the arts, my life could have turned out very different. So I'm a big believer in giving kids the tools. And some of those tools you get through the arts because you get to know yourself. Mm-hmm. That can be like kind of a mirror of like how you feel, what's going on. And maybe you share it, maybe you don't. But definitely arts in the school is very important, or out of the school or at home. it doesn't matter. But big believer in that one.
Yep. Extremely important. You are right. All right, everyone. Well, I want to thank our wonderful poets again here today for reading to us. It was such an honor to have you guys in the comment section. Be sure to follow our events every month. Lisa, I don't know if you wanted to put any info in there to help people follow you as well. And we hope to see you in the future. The International Art Museum of America, located at 1025 Market Street, sits in the heart of downtown San Francisco between 6th and 7th Street. The aim of our nonprofit museum is to display artwork from disparate cultures to promote peace and harmony among peoples. Visitors will enter a serene garden with full rock formations, a tropical landscape, and a waterfall flowing into ponds. Our gallery houses traditional and contemporary ink and wash Chinese paintings, abstract oil paintings, and hyper-realistic ink paintings of animals and figures. Approximately 60% of our collection are paintings and sculptures by the contemporary artist H.H. Dorje, Shang Buddha III. The gallery also houses European and Western oil paintings beginning from the 17th century to present day, including works by French realist Rosa Bonheur, the Norwegian impressionist Frits Kahlo, and the French Fauvist Maurice Flaminique. IAMA offers a beautiful environment as well as 2 rotating exhibition spaces. Admission is now free. Here in our gift shop, we have something for everyone, whether you are local, just visiting, or shopping for yourself. We have many products based on IAMA's artwork, as well as international and Bay Area themed items. We do our best to have a consistent flow of new and exciting products so that you can always find something special to take home from your visit to IAMA.